So it wasn't my fault though.
Right.
I had a little bit of whiplash, $5,000 damage on the truck. My trailer was parked somewhere to get loaded, and I was going to do a logbook reset. And this other guy with a load hit me. He said, "I'm sorry." I said, "I understand."
Yeah.
And it just. But as my office said, that probably saved you from having a fault accident. And I believe so. And what I like about it is when I'm in a snowstorm or I'm driving along, all of a sudden it's a whiteout, it shows me on the dash if there's a vehicle ahead of me.
Right.
When it comes within range.
Ah, right.
So I feel more at ease. If I'm driving and all of a sudden I get a whiteout, I can still tell where the road is, but I can't see very far ahead. And then I slow down, it'll scream at me, beeping and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's a 2001 Volvo truck. I used to drive Peterbilt. Peterbilt has less driver assistant things. When somebody passes me on the right side and they're in the right spot, there's a yellow light on the side near the door, and it blinks, and then they'll toot the horn. It startles me every time.
So you must. The Raptor has a camera on the back.
On the back.
And when we were talking with the salesman, he said, "Oh, it doesn't have a camera on the front, unlike." And I think he said the Ranger had a camera on the front. Which is quite useful on
If
the
you're
front
nudging
as
up
well.
against something.
Yeah, especially if you're high up on as we are in a
the
four-wheel drive.
You can't see if there's something,
you
a post
literally
or something.
can't.
Yeah.
You can't see. So a small child could actually be in the front.
Yeah.
So, but it will beep for the back,
If
and
you get too close.
it shows where at the present setting on the steering wheel where it will take you. It has two lines for that,
Yeah.
and then the other lines is where the vehicle is headed. Are you with
Okay.
me? Like this is indicating
If you
that
turn.
it's going to go,
Yeah.
right? But
So
the vehicle
when you turn
itself,
your steering wheel, the
is-
lines will move
Yeah.
to where you're going to go.
yeah,
Yeah.
and of course, as soon as you get out of the green, it will start to beat faster. So it starts off just going
Yeah, so
beep,
it's sort
and then
of
beep,
the
beep,
same
beep, beep,
idea,
beep,
yeah.
yeah, until it's continuous.
Right. I have a different question, local question. Is there a hardware store at the mall?
At the mall,
Yeah. Or
here,
Here,
Yes.
in this town?
yes,
Okay. Would they have plumbing parts?
yes.
Okay. Is that in the
And you could go and
Altiris
talk
Mall?
to one of the guys,
Yeah.
and they'll actually walk you through it and get the part for you. And
Well, I have a photo of what I need.
yeah, well then they'll pretty well.
Our
They'll
sink,
pretty well
I
get
need a
you.
fitting because where the sink goes into the wall, it wasn't done right.
Yeah,
And so I found there is a fitting to go with those pipes that are there.
Yeah.
And it costs 50 pesos or something, or other, plastic rubber fitting, and I hope they might have one.
yeah. I would think in Alturas, if you go to the first, as soon as you get at the end of this road, you'll come to the first part of Alturas
Yeah.
block. There's an entrance here, and then there's an entrance at the other side. So,
Okay.
but the
Hardware
first
part?
entrance, the hardware is right inside. It's the first store on the left
Hindi na sila ka-first store
Yeah.
nila.
when you go in the door.
Okay.
So that'll be good. And if they don't have it, you actually pass the hardware store, the big hardware store. Our friend Edgar, he has a hardware store that's on the right, just down here.
Oh, so there's two.
So you could, yeah, there's an independent hardware store on the road.
Between here and Altiris?
Yes.
Okay. Is it
So-
about halfway in between?
Let me see.
Ang bako ni Sofer tayo.
Do you know?
What's your?
But there's a lot of hardware here.
In town?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I did a Google search, there was a few. What's the name of your friend?
Edgar.
Edgar? Is that the name of the store?
Ambacon.
Ambacon.
Just a little farther here,
Okay.
just on the side.
Yeah, because I
Oh,
figured
that's
go to
right.
the...
It's that way, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's that way.
Well, if we go to the mall, like for the kids, we'll
Yeah.
go there and
They,
then...
they should be able to do it for you.
Yeah, and if they don't, then we'll try this other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty.
So I have a specific question, and you don't have to answer it specifically, but Maria's uncle, senior, living in, where's Uncle Minnie?
Oh, Villar.
Villar. And he's got one son that has a bit of disability, mental, a bit, unstable, shy, whatever, that sort of thing. But he has a lot beside Maria's mother's lot. And what I'm wondering about is if we were to build a little house that would suffice for two people. And like what do you call it, traditional bamboo type hut, or like inexpensive. What would you think it would cost to build? From your experience, what have you been doing? Like 2,000 American?
It's going up, isn't it?
Prices. I think if it's just an
Like
is
a
it
bamboo-
cement? Is it
Native hut type
native?
of thing?
Native?
Yeah.
Ah. I
Like
think it's just
bamboo
around.
floor and those weaved walls, that sort of thing.
I think it's just around 50 or something like that. If it's just a bamboo,
50.
if the floor is
If
just
it's
bamboo.
bamboo only,
Yeah.
yes. What we would normally do is
Do cement walls?
we would
Like about
we put footings. We put a foundation around.
Right.
Let's say that you were going to build it, and it was going to be 17 feet by 15 feet,
Okay.
or 17 by 17.
yeah.
Right? Then you would build it. You would build, say, five courses of hollow
Of
block.
brick, yeah.
Yeah,
all of
and
that.
then
The
the
wood frame
rest will be
structure
wood frame
above.
after that, and then the wood frame would be covered in the amacon, which is
Which is like rattan,
which is the
sort of?
which is that like a weave.
Yeah,
It's like a weave, very common.
Right.
It's what everybody uses.
that's what her brother's house was.
a tin roof,
Yeah.
which is what everybody
So,
uses.
you said 50,000?
Depending on what's the size of
Yeah,
what you
well, I figured 2 rooms is about,
just
If it
put
was
it
bamboo
50 to
only,
100,
yeah.
50 to
50 to
100
100.
including the labor.
okay,
Yeah.
that would include labor?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But we put a kitchen in, but we don't
That's sort of a
supply
bump out.
water. We don't give a water supply. We have to get that from the well, right?
Yeah,
And
well,
we've
we have a
only
water pipe that goes by the lot. Like the whole Tay has water system,
uh,
so if they want water, we just tap into the water
yes,
pipe.
I guess.
It's just laying on the ground, it's not like it's Canada where you gotta
Yeah,
bury
and,
it.
and normally they wouldn't have a bathroom in the home,
Right,
so it would be built off
separate.
for a bathroom.
Well, I'm thinking if they move, that even cooking, like, I haven't talked to Maria about it, but I was thinking that to get them started, just have a place to live, and they could eat at Maria's mother's house, which is, short walking
Well,
distance.
and with those very modest houses, like the one I suggested, where you have 5 courses of hollow block,
Right,
we would normally give a place where they could do open fire cooking within the house.
that's like a bump out?
Well,
From the wall?
It's
Like
just
it
a
sort of goes
concrete, not even concrete. It's like a box. It's like a box the size of this table,
Yeah,
with edges up,
right,
and then filled with soil.
right.
And then on top of that, they would be able to have the open fire cooking. They
Yeah.
would know all about
Yeah,
it.
I think I've seen those before, but
Yeah.
is that sort of like if the brick wall is here, where you have it, it's sort of bumped out?
The way that they do that is they cantilever it out.
Yeah, that's what I mean by
that
bump
they,
out.
yeah, they get the platform here and then the supports
Yeah.
like this, but it's taken out of the wall, which
Right.
means that you're not affecting the footprint of the house,
Right.
but they still get to be able to use the thing.
And then the
Nothing
venting.
that you haven't
Yeah,
seen.
I think it's like my house before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and it's
never
sort of
lived
like your
in it.
brother's house.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You're serious at times, so it's all good. And I find that, I came here, I just wanted to have a chance to meet both of you and say thank you and
well, we're very happy to meet.
I think you notice, over the years, I've learned stuff from,
Yeah, from you guys.
yeah.
Well, the biggest thing that I tried to pass on from my experiences is that if you come here, you're the foreigner.
Yes.
So don't run away. Don't run away from this place and try to create it again here.
No, I
You
see
know?
value
That's-
here.
No, I'm not,
Yeah.
no, I'm not making that as a reference to
me,
you.
but that's
I
your
just mean
general
generally.
message, yeah.
And that
I hear that when
that
you talk
is
to people.
that
like in your
is
video.
what I've seen in expats coming here, is that they come here and they think that the moment that their foot touches the Philippines is going to change just for them, and it's not. It's the Philippines is 100 years ago, as far as the West goes.
Right.
Probably 100 years ago. Nanai Beth's mom was living in the same house that Beth was, I think, born in.
Right.
10 children.
When you came,
when we came.
yeah.
And she had only just got power about 3 months before.
Into their acreage. Like she
we
has,
came here going on 9 years ago.
right.
And back then, she had only just got the power. And she only had running water there when
After
we
you-
got here.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
had
I
the
knew
pump fitted,
Yeah.
and I actually put on Facebook a picture of her turning the faucet
tap.
on.
Yeah.
First time in 48 years. And that house was pretty well what they did. They came, her father came, and he leveled off part of the hill, part of the top of the hill, and he built a tiny little place that they could literally, like this, almost for a bed and a clothesline, and they lived in that until he could build a house. And she had, Beth's mum had her first child at age 17.
Yeah.
Then 10 after that.
Yeah. And you see, when my ancestors came from America to homestead in southern Manitoba,
Yeah.
that's basically how they, at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, in America, the pioneer spirit, the pioneer way, was to go and build a house like the little house on the prairie.
Right.
And then when they had a child, and the child grew to this size, they built another little bedroom, or they had a bunk in the top, and they did it like that. And that's pretty well what they do here. And Beth's mom is pretty much the same person now as she was back then. 48 was. It was 60 years ago.
Yeah.
Not too much has changed. I built that red house, I built that having the materials brought up on a Carabao bamboo slab. That's how the
Yeah.
materials are brought up.
Into that property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's what was there. And we built the start of the house. We built because
You needed a place.
Filipino houses are open plan, you know. So when they had electricity, the wall between Nana's bedroom and ours ended there, and the light shone for both.
Okay. Yeah.
So we were interested in having a married life, so that was when I said, well, let's build a bedroom up there.
Yeah.
And when we started, we said, well, instead of 15, why don't we do 25? And then why don't we build it a little bit higher, and I'll put a platform bedroom in, and
Yeah.
attach a kitchen, and the same.
So did you just basically get it finished just a little while before the storm came?
No, well,
Sort of?
we lived in it like a cave
Well, I
for
remember
a,
when
for a
your-
long time.
Your brother-in-law, I forget his name, but
Yeah, James.
James helped
Yeah.
you with the ceiling.
He did stuff like that.
Yeah.
That I'm no longer interested in trying to
Yeah.
things. Yeah. And he did a lot of work.
Yeah. And then,
which was good for him because it allowed him to survive.
yeah. So is he still back and forth?
He's in America right now.
Yeah, but he works there and he comes back. And,
Well, he has a house and his family.
Nakag-open na rin.
So, however,
yeah,
it turned into a long distance relationship.
right,
But he's not of retirement age. So,
right.
see, but all of that refinement work was at the start of the pandemic,
Okay.
when they started locking down and all of that.
So then you got busy
We
focusing
never,
on.
we never had all of that locking. We never did. Because we're out in the middle of nowhere.
Nowhere, right.
There's no way they can police it.
Yeah.
We did that lockdown. For a little while, they
But when you come into town here, that's the only time you
Well,
have the restrictions.
supposedly, yes, I would have been stopped by the bank. You know,
Yeah,
with the bank. But I just, if I knew there was a lockdown coming, I would go and see the manager or one of the under managers, and I'd say, look, you know, I've got to be able to come into the bank. So eventually, they said, well, when you get here, tell the guard, I'll come out.
yeah,
They never happened, especially after I tipped the security guards, and now they just open the door for me and go in.
yeah. That's how
Everybody has to
Yes.
have their...
you get things done.
Yeah. You can look at it like it's bad, but then my father depended on tips at the end of the year. Why
Yeah,
would I not? Why would I not do that? It's
Right.
help. She says it's help.
yeah.
What is the time?
4:30.
Yeah, I was thinking we're probably sort of overextending our stay.
Well,
We're enjoying ourselves.
a house for Nana, for that's mom.
Yeah,
She chose.
she wanted that tradition.
I was gonna, thought in my viewpoint. I built a really big room, and then I was thinking, well, we'll have a countertop here on top of the cabinets, and then stainless steel sink, gas cooker, and all of this. Didn't happen. She built a kitchen onto the house. I suddenly go in and oh, this is the kitchen. Yeah, she's hung a washing line across the living room,
Yeah,
and she's got laundry.
yeah,
See, and then a little tiny open shed with that.